Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Pisces. And we have the Hanged One, which is the Hanged Man, in the Tarot of the Abyss deck. And it is a beautiful and interesting card, isn't it? It's hard to tell. Does it go this way or does it go this way? I imagine this way because it feels, like everything is kind of turned upside down. And so let's see what these tea leaves have to say. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. So we have a cow. You can see the head right here, the eye, the horns right here. Okay, the rest of the body. And we have also two people standing on top of the back of the cow here. And I imagine in my mind this almost kind of is like a Vedic deity, a Hindu deity of some kind, or some portrait or icon of such. And it's such a beautiful and powerful, to me, it feels like a sense of family, of all things coming together. There are resources, there is sustenance, there is a sense of nurture, commitment, togetherness, choosing one another, right? And now this doesn't have to be a spouse and two people married, but this is family. This is whatever that looks like for you, right? And every family is individual to itself. And over the course of our lives, it does change, right? A few years ago, I would have considered just my cats, right? This is my family. I have three, well, now two, but at the time, three perfect little angels, and this is my family. And then, I met my husband, of course, and we started our family, including the cats, and so it changes over time. And but I feel like you're very focused on the stability, on the kind of making sure there's a firm foundation. Everything is kind of squared away on the level, and working towards, building something for all of you. And with that cow, it's coming together. The stress, of course, is there, right? We're always going to have stressors, but ultimately, I think that more so than probably most other times in your life, I think that you are doing okay financially. I feel like there are opportunities presenting themselves. I think, there's growth here. And that's only one aspect, but I know a lot of people, when they come to these readings, want to hear about things like finances. I don't always go too much into it, but it's important, obviously. I know that when I'm struggling, and even when I'm doing okay, I've obviously never been like balling out, but I've done okay. Even then I'm worried about finances. I always have that like scarcity thing in my head. It will always be there. I'm always going to be that person. But I feel like when there's a sense of there being enough of things, and your ability to kind of sleep a little better at night. And maybe, you know, there's less of that energy of, you know, being a little argumentative or bickering or not trusting the other people in your household to be doing what they say they're going to do, right? Paying their part of the bills or, you know, buying the things that they're supposed to and doing the chores and, you know, whatever. I'm not going to go into every aspect of domestic life, but I feel like everything is like cool, you know, and a lot of it is rooted from being able to have that kind of financial stability. And of course, you know, I will never claim that money will bring happiness, but I do think that when you're in that in-between place where there is some stability, it can be such a blessing, you know, to be able to make it through the month, right? And so, yeah, this seems like an important, very important configuration here. Now, I want to go and look this way because I'm wondering what is the Hanged Man doing? Because when I see the Hanged Man, I always know that there's some sacrifice coming. And this is the kind of indicator that you will have a choice to make. It's not going to be something that you're forced into necessarily, but it is something that you're going to have to decide about. I also, you know, at times when I have a lot of the hangman energy, I know that it's time for me to make some kind of sacrifice. And recently my sacrifice was coffee, getting off the coffee. And, you know, mostly for health reasons for me, but anxiety, being the number one. And, but I also was getting a lot of hanged man energy in my life what was it? February, I guess. Yeah, I guess late January, February. And so, I always look forward to it as a challenge. Now, so I'm looking at this and it looks like we have almost like a UFO or something here. This shape, like the saucer kind of, it almost looks like a top, right? Like one of those old tops you'd spin and it would keep going. Now, I feel like we have two people here. And I feel like there's a sense of shared creativity. But then, I mean, it feels like passion to me, okay? It's sensuality. A physical, maybe relationship, or at least like an emotional connection. But then over here, we also have this person who looks like, I imagine like a business person and holding a briefcase. And then we have the scorpion over here. So almost like there's maybe a Scorpio person or somebody who has kind of the aspects of a scorpion, but there's also the heart in there. So I almost feel like this is maybe like a lover, a significant other, maybe, I don't know, maybe it could be like a dalliance, I don't know. But I feel like it's almost like the work is in the middle, right? The focus of things. And then there's this, on the outline, there's if you could imagine like a spiral around, kind of circling in and in and in. And it is this movement towards, sensuality, courtship, being in love and lust and desire and kind of succumbing to that to some degree. But I feel like, you know, so often, and the UFO to me, it really, I feel like it's like there's just this like bizarro feeling that kind of comes up for you sometimes when you feel like you are exiting your comfort zone. Like you have your routine, you have the things you like to do. You know, you're feeling confident about your life. Everything's kind of together. Everybody seems pretty happy. There's enough of everything. The foundation is there. And then these kind of feelings start, you know, rising. They're coming into your consciousness. And this maybe is like a period of time where you're feeling more connected to your partner, or, you know, I don't know, you know, just kind of, there's an interest in this kind of belovedness and the courtship. I think the kind of flirtation and you know, expressing love to one another and so on and so on. But I think in a way it's like, I think that you go to these extremes where it's like, well, it's going to take away from my work if I get too far into this, because you almost worry maybe you could get lost in it. You know what I'm like, distracted. And it almost feels like there's just not enough time always, you know, and I think that's, you know, how things kind of go, but it kind of, it's like it's already emerged. So it's like throwing this kind of rippling distortion through your life. It's like all of a sudden just kind of, you know, going to work and doing your thing and making your money, and then coming home and being with your family and going through the routine of that. And then by the end of the day, you know, it's like bedtime, you get cleaned up, you're going to go to bed and, you know, maybe talk a little bit. And yeah, there's love there, and there's a connecting, and it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good. But these kind of passions, these stirrings that start showing up, it's exciting. You know, it's something that, you know, you maybe in some ways I feel like there's just like a refrain. You know, you have your impulse is a refrain, and not because it's not something that you're interested in, but because you worry that it's going to throw you off of balance, but it's already there, right? So now there's this feeling of like things kind of being disjointed a little bit, because you are a little bit preoccupied by this. I don't know what holds you back from, you know, kind of exploring these things. I don't know. I mean, it's, you know, that's something for you to know, but I think it is. I think that this is like that kind of place where it's like this hanged man energy. It's like, do you sacrifice your desires, your wanting for connectedness here, or, you know, and there's a lot of ways this could go. Obviously, it's not just the either or, but or do you, you know, kind of be brave in a little way and try to, you know, let this kind of distract you a bit. Let this kind of, you know, kind of bring a new energy into your existence. Explore a little, maybe, you know. But there's no wrong or right. You know, this is all, and it doesn't have to be either or, you know. But I think that this is, and it coincides, right? We're in that spring Twitter-pated energy. We're also, if you're in the southern hemisphere, the reprieve from that heat, you know, getting into a place where you feel more comfortable in your own body, and you know, the coolness of the evenings are maybe a little more romantic than that oppressive heat. And so, you know, I think this could be a time of, you know, great love and connection and so on. But I just, you know, it is going to take some changing things around and there is a sacrifice. You know, being in that kind of set routine that makes you feel balanced and comfortable and so on. Are you huffing at me? Okay, so we have, looks like a big, strong, it looks like a person, like a big, with large stature, and holding on to somebody on this side and holding on to somebody on this side. And it does feel masculine. It feels intimidating. And I don't know. It feels like maybe, I don't know, just like a very kind of masculine, persona. And I wonder if this is maybe, I don't know. I think it's showing me this because it almost feels like a family member, like a father, maybe a brother. They have this persona of, I almost kind of imagine, I don't like to even say this, but like almost like a womanizer, or, you know, somebody who's a little bit, not a serial monogamous, but somebody who, you know, is, I don't know. And maybe this is where that kind of comes from, this refrain. You like want to be in more control of yourself because you've seen how people can treat other people. And I think you have a great distaste for it, although you love this person. And I do. I'm looking at this dog. It looks like a dog or a coyote or something. But there's this sense of kind of like, oh, there's this like real macho, strong, you know, persona. But then, you know them behind closed doors. You know them behind the mask. And it is really this kind of... I'm almost thinking of, what is that dog on, it's not a greyhound, but maybe he's a greyhound, on, The Simpsons, the dog, what is its name? Santa's Little Helper. And kind of this like stringy, goofy, kind of self-conscious, and, you know, and I think that's like how you know this person more than that energy, but the way that they behave was so off-putting for you, that I kind of almost feel like you've actively tried to kind of go another way with how you connect with people. And so that's even in a committed relationship, you know, it's affected that. So yeah, I think that this is something kind of presenting itself to be looked at. Okay, so now we have a 1 and an 8 here. We have an 18, we have a 3, just a 3. And we have this one, I keep looking at. It reminds me of somebody who is being abducted. That kind of, you know, archetypal image that we know of, like abduction, being beamed up. But I think of it more as kind of going into the astral, a dream travel here. And there are hearts, 2 hearts, a star, and a butterfly. So those are all beautiful signs of love and growth, and the star being goals. And, oh, we have a 26 right here, 26, 26. So I do feel like ultimately, you know, it's just, this is a time of, I think, contemplation and ponderance and all of these kinds of things. But I feel that there's a potent energy kind of flowing through, and a real invitation to maybe this more fantastical and desiring and beloved and connected, this kind of a real beautiful time, you know, period of being here. And then I wanted to point out we also have the star here. So we have 2 stars in this reading. And that's always a beautiful sign. Definitely with the bigger star here, it is a sense of goals getting closer to being met. Okay. And let's take a look. We have a bird. We have 17 and then a bird. So I'm thinking somebody, I almost think it's somebody who you knew at like around the age of 17. I wonder if they have transitioned since then. They are coming through and it seems like they are transitioned. Now, I almost wonder if this person played cards. As I see the shifting symbols of the suits. And as I move this. So I wonder, I don't know. I wonder if you played cards with them or if they were somebody who is really like known to be into cards, maybe played poker or whatever. But I do feel like this is, my goodness, I don't even feel like this is somebody you were super close to, but I feel like you had your moment, you know, and I don't know that you even think of this person that often. But for some reason they seem to be coming up in your mind and it is, I feel like them contacting you for some reason. And I honestly don't see what they're saying here, but I do think it is connected with the dream work. So I wonder, if you are looking within the dreams, I'm seeing a squirrel as I'm saying this. So there's a squirrel involved in some way. Almost kind of like I imagine you seeing a squirrel in your dream, like it's a sign. This is like a shiny in your life, something to notice, an Easter egg here. Follow that squirrel. But I think that there's something with a squirrel, and I think also there will be a sense of visitation or clarity about why this person would be reaching out to you. Yeah, I don't know. I can't begin to see what it might be. It just feels like it's like a voice message or something, you know, like well, and I'm thinking of it as being on like a voice recorder, like back in the day, somebody leaving one on the. By the way, if you are, you know, older like myself or even, you know, older than I am, do you remember how fun it was to choose your outgoing message for your answering machine? When I was a teenager, there were, I think, the beginning of cell phones. I didn't have one until I was in my 20s, but I had my own phone line, which I was really, you know, kind of spoiled by my grandparents to give me one of those. But and then I had a voice or an answering machine, and trying to figure out like what song playing in the background while you recorded your you know, outgoing message. So funny. It was like you had to be so masterful with it. So anyways, let's do we have to do our Indigo Sage affirmation cards. These are the air symbol, or air element, excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead, we'll flip through here and stop where it feels right. Okay, and we have the little mushrooms. Sublime, symphony. You are part of a chorus of peace. Celebrate life as an offering to divine love. Celebrate life as an offering to divine love. Well, here's your answer. Celebrate that divine love. All right. Okay, Pisces, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, TT, the door is open and she just likes to bang it. She's telling me it's bedtime. That's what she said. Mom, get in bed. It's just after midnight. Oh my goodness. So anyways, yes, if you have not subscribed, hit the little button. It's like a bell, little bell. It'll tell you when the next videos are coming out. It's free to subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. And with that, I will say again, I love you. I better get to bed. I'm going to be in trouble here. This cat is going to raise heck over here. She keeps walking down the hall to bang the door, and then I can see her little feet, the little shadows walking away. Oh, all right. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.